Do you ever feel like you're just a pinball in a machine? You get to the end of the day and realize you just spent the whole time bouncing from one thing to the next. An email dings, you jump, a scary headline pops up, your mood tanks, someone cuts you off in traffic, and boom, your whole morning's ruined. It's this constant state of just reacting. We're busy, for sure, but are we actually in the driver's seat of our own lives?
Well, that feeling of being tossed around on a chaotic sea, that's exactly what we're tackling today. And the good news is, there's an ancient game plan for this.
Welcome to ZenXHacks. Here, we give you simple, science-backed, life-tested hacks for thinking smarter, living calmer, and leveling up every single day.
The Stoics, we're talking everyone from Roman emperors to former slaves, they all got this one fundamental truth about life. You can't control the storm. You just can't. The economy, other people's moods, bad luck, that stuff is totally out of your hands. But, and this is a big but, you can learn to be an amazing captain of your own ship. It's all about building this inner fortress, this unshakable core, no matter what's raging on the outside.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Philosophy. You're picturing old guys in togas debating stuff that has nothing to do with your Monday morning meeting, right? Well, that's not what Stoicism is. Think of it less like a philosophy and more like a practical operating system for your mind, a Stoic OS, if you will. It was literally designed for the trenches of daily life, for soldiers, for leaders, for anyone just trying to live a good, solid life. It's a system that trains your mind for resilience, for calm, and for living a life of character. And trust me, it's just as relevant now as it was 2,000 years ago. So, let's think of today as exactly that, a software upgrade for your mind. We're going to uninstall that glitchy, reactive default program that gets hijacked by every little thing. And in its place, we're installing the Stoic OS, a system that's calm, proactive, and seriously powerful. All right, here's our roadmap for the upgrade. We've got 4 essential hacks we're going to install. First, the absolute foundation, how to focus your control. Then we'll totally overhaul our value system and learn to redefine true wealth. Third, we get into the daily workout of how to build an unshakable character. And finally, we'll bring it all home with hack 4, how to live with deliberate purpose. Let's jump into the first and honestly, the most important module. Okay, hack number 1. This is the master key. This is the absolute bedrock of the entire Stoic operating system. Seriously, if you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. It's the simple but totally revolutionary idea of learning where to focus your energy and your control. Everything else we talk about is built right on top of this.
So check this out. It's so beautifully simple. The Stoics said, you've got to divide everything in life into one of these 2 columns. On the left, you've got everything you have 0 direct control over. The weather, the stock market, what your boss thinks of you, you get the idea. And on the right, that's your kingdom. That's the stuff you have 100% control over. Your thoughts, your reactions, the choices you make, the values you live by. The secret to a peaceful life is to stop wasting even 1 drop of energy on that left column and pour all of your focus into the right one. That's where your real power is.
And this quote from Epictetus just nails it. Think about it like this. You give a big presentation, and afterwards your boss just walks by with a frown. Now the event itself, a person walking by with a certain look on their face, is totally neutral. It's just data. But it's the story you tell yourself about it that causes the pain, right? You think, oh, they hated it. I'm gonna get fired. I'm a total failure. That story, that judgment, that's what's actually upsetting you. What if you chose a different thought? Maybe they're just having a bad day. Or maybe they're thinking about lunch. I did my best and that's all I control. The event didn't change, but by controlling your thoughts about it, you control your peace. All right, so once you start really practicing that first hack, focusing only on what you can control, something amazing starts to happen. Your priorities just shift. The stuff the world tells you is important starts to lose its power over you. And that leads us perfectly into our second hack. It's time to completely redefine what true wealth really is. Our culture is constantly screaming at us that wealth is all about that stuff on the left. The new phone, the promotion, the likes on your post. And yeah, as you can see from that spiky bar, that stuff can give you a quick little hit of happiness. But it's a sugar high, it's volatile, and it never, ever lasts. Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. You get the thing, you feel good for a hot minute, then you're right back where you started, already looking for the next fix. The Stoics said, nope. True lasting wealth is on the right. It's that stable, high bar of contentment that comes from cultivating your inner world, your character, your gratitude, your purpose. And that's a kind of wealth nobody can ever take away from you. And the ultimate prize for this new definition of wealth? It's a state the Greeks called ataraxia. It's just a beautiful word. It basically means a state of serene calmness, a deep, unshakable peace of mind. Now, this is not about being a robot or feeling nothing. It's the opposite. It's about being so grounded and secure inside that you're no longer a slave to your emotions. It's that quiet confidence of knowing your happiness isn't tied to the chaotic, unpredictable world out there.
So the practical takeaway for this hack is summed up perfectly right here. It totally flips the script on how we normally think. We think freedom is being able to buy anything we want. The Stoics would say, no, true freedom is not wanting so much in the first place. The richest person isn't the one with the most stuff, it's the one who is genuinely content with what they already have. This isn't about being poor, it's about being intentional. It's about finding freedom by reducing your desires, not by endlessly chasing them.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but it brings up a really important question. If true wealth is internal, if it's all about our character, how do we actually build that character? How do we go from just wishing we were more resilient to actually being more resilient? Well, that brings us to the hands-on daily work of Hack 3, building an unshakable character. The Stoics believed that a good life was built by practicing 4 key virtues every single day. Think of them like 4 balanced parts of a whole person. First, you've got wisdom, just knowing what's truly important and what's not. Then there's courage, facing down challenges with integrity. After that comes justice, which is really about being fair, honest, and good to other people. And finally, temperance, self-control, moderation, and discipline. The key thing here is that these aren't just nice ideas, they're skills. Like playing an instrument, you have to practice them daily to get any good. So how do you practice? The Stoics had this simple but incredibly powerful tool, a daily reflection. Think of it like a 5-minute mental journal at the end of your day. Step 1, review what happened, like you're watching a movie of your day. Step 2, and this is the important part, assess your actions. Ask yourself, where did I live up to my values today? Where did I fall short? Was I courageous? Was I fair? Did I overreact? And then step 3, based on that honest review, you set one simple intention for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will try to be more patient. It's not about beating yourself up. It's a calm, objective system for getting a little bit better every single day. When you start combining these first 3 hacks, focusing your control, seeking inner wealth, and building your character, you unlock the ability to live a totally different kind of life. And this brings us to our final and maybe most powerful hack, learning to live with deliberate purpose. One of the Stoics' most famous practices was memento mori, which is just Latin for remember you must die. I know it sounds super morbid, but stick with me, because it's actually one of the most life-affirming tools there is. This timeline shows you why. Your past, it's gone. Your future, not guaranteed. All you really have is this tiny little sliver of time called now. Remembering that your time is limited isn't supposed to make you sad. It's supposed to give you clarity and urgency. It's a filter that makes you ask, is this really how I want to spend my precious time? It cuts through all the noise and shows you what actually matters. Living with purpose doesn't mean you'll have a life without problems. In fact, it means you learn to embrace them. The Stoics had this incredible reframe for hard times. They saw every single difficulty not as a setback, but as an opportunity. That frustrating project at work? It's a chance to practice patience. A difficult conversation you have to have? That's a chance to practice courage. Adversity is basically the gym where you build your character. Without those challenges, your virtues stay weak. Every obstacle is a chance to get stronger. And so this whole operating system upgrade brings us right back to this one essential truth. Don't waste your energy living in the past, you can't change it. Don't burn yourself out with anxiety about the future. It's not here yet, and you can't control most of it anyway. All of your energy, all of your attention needs to be focused right here, in this present moment. It's the only place you can make a choice. It's the only place you can practice your values. It's the only place life is actually happening. So that's it. That's the Stoic OS upgrade. First up, you've got focus your control, the master key. Put your energy only where it matters, on your own thoughts and actions. Second, redefine true wealth. Chase that stable inner contentment, not the temporary high from stuff and external praise. Third, build unshakable character. That's your daily workout, practicing those virtues with that evening review. And finally, live with deliberate purpose. Use challenges and the awareness of the present moment as fuel for your growth. Look, this isn't just dusty old philosophy. It's a practical guide for a more resilient, more meaningful life. And the most important thing to remember is that your new start doesn't have to wait until tomorrow or next Monday. It begins right now, with your very next choice.
So now I've got to ask, looking at all these, which one are you going to try first?
Take a second, think about it. Which one seems like it would fit into your life right now? Let me know. Drop the number in the comments below. I'm really curious to see which ones you guys like the best.
And hey, if you got something out of this, if you learned a cool new trick, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe share this with a friend who could use a little memory boost.
Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next ZenX episode.